Hi, everybody. Welcome to Winflow Talk. Another awesome day. We're grateful to God for His mercies that are new daily. We're in the August month, and you may be wondering, hey, I've prayed, I've planted seeds, and nothing seemed to work. And you start doubting if there is indeed a God. I have a word for you. You either believe in God for a skyscraper or a bungalow. And with a bungalow, the foundation is not always that deep. It would cost you less time and less cost. Unlike a skyscraper, it would cost you a lot of time, more money, spend more, and spend long time. So the decision is you now have to realize that God is still fortifying your foundation to be able to build upwards. When the blessings come, please remember me. Today we're going to talk about deception in words, right? As we said last week, the woman was deceived while a word was planted, and it cost her the presence of God. How many of us have changed our situations, our stories, or things have cost us more because a word was planted, knowing or unknowingly to you, and you operated on that word? You operated in that word, and it went to affect you completely differently. Just like when Satan deceived Eve, what happened? They lost the presence of God, and they were driven out of the garden. They started working for things they'd never worked for. They started having to go for hard labor. They lost the presence of God. Now they needed to work hard for God to visit them. And I thought, wow, why? I saw in the manual of life, right, that the God of this world is a God of deception. So I realized, knowing or unknowingly, intentionally or unintentionally, on earth, you will work in deception. I'm going to list a few, right? When you change your age, that is deception. When you lie to somebody, that is deception. When you go to work and call a sickie when you're well, that is deception. When you're at home, you call, somebody calls and says, are you at home? You say, no, I'm not at home, mama. That is deception. When you sit there and you lie, little white lies, that is deception. When you sit there and you're having an affair and you're married, that is deception. Not even married, when you're in a relationship with somebody and then you're double dealing or triple dealing or how many dealing, that is deception. So you see, that monster has a funny way of attacking one way or the other. The God of this world has come to kill, to steal, and to destroy from you. It always comes in as an opportunity. That's how deception always shows up in our life, as an opportunity. Last week I shared a story. I didn't complete it because I wanted to complete it with this video. When the lady met this gentleman, he said, you know what, I'm probably far better in bed than your wife. And the guy looked at the lady and said, how do you know? He said, I know, if it's not true, why don't you try me and see? And that's when the guy said, you're lazy. And he goes to tell her, you know what, my wife satisfies me more than I'll ever think in bed. I'm not really interested in you. Actually, you've made me realize how much I love my wife and how honest she is to me. And gave her money and walked out. And I thought, wow, the lady saw it differently because a positive seed was planted in her life. Had it been the man decided to say do what other men had done before, she would not have learned a different lesson. How is your life going to influence somebody positively and not negatively? A friend shared a couple of months, about a year ago to me. He went to Cameroon on holidays. And on arrival there, he called his men, right? Oh, I've arrived and check out. So in the evening, when the friends came to take him out, they all brought girlfriends. And he was shocked. It's like, never seen their wives. So he was excited to see their wives, but no, they brought girlfriends. So the next day the gentleman called the guys and said, hang on here. What was that last night? I was expecting to see your wives and you bring girlfriends. The first question, you think you love your wife better than us? And I beg, don't come and spoil it for us, Jerry. All you people with Oyibo, you pretend too much, you come. So the next night, they brought him a girl. He said he saw this out of politeness. They went out in the evening. He went back in his hotel, and the next day he checked himself out and went in another city because he did not want to be contaminated. Why? The more he continued that relationship, maybe it would have ended him compromising himself. So he rather leave that situation, and he left Cameroon without them knowing. But I laughed. When he said it, I laughed. I said, I have heard that in Cameroon several times. I've even had friends tell me, you think that if your husband or wife cheats, what is it? Is it a big deal? Well, it's something that is just normal. It's become acceptable, or it's become normal. I remember years ago, I remember a sister of mine telling me, if I have a husband who doesn't cheat, I'll be so surprised, because cheating has been acceptable as part of life. I'm thinking, wow, this generation, the difference is my parents' generation would have gotten away with. This generation, some people know how to pray to God. Marriage is a covenant, and when you're fighting people's marriages, you're fighting God. Be careful for the consequences when they come. That is guaranteed. Be careful for the consequences when they come. Why? Because our lives are meant to bring you back to God and not move you away from God. We will try to remove you from the gods of this world. And the only way you do that is the transformation. Let your light so shine that will convince men to come to God. Become the salt of the earth. And the only way you do that is digging really deep. Really deep, because it will cost you. You see, nobody ever tells you that if you're serving God diligently, it has a cost attached to it. We see the glory, but we don't talk about cost. My darling brothers and sisters, there is a cost. And God always rewards you.